And so, let's talk about AB 118 now, talking about fixing what AB 32 is happening with AB 32. And you have authored the bill AB 118. So
yes, AB 118 is, the purpose of it is to suspend AB 32. I drafted it. It was the first bill I introduced here in the Assembly when I came here, and of course there were a lot of raised eyebrows, like, whoa, you're ready to take on this powerful group. But I really saw the direction of the country going politically, economically. I knew that it was headed for hard times. The last thing that we needed right now was to put another layer on business. If AB 32 is implemented, it will cost us $182 billion in gross output a year. We will lose over 1 million jobs with AB 32. But another thing is the cost of energy will go through the ceiling. Now, I don't know about you, but I know many people who can't afford their PG&E or their energy payments now. But think about this. Think about the businesses that want to come to California, and they look at the cost of doing business as far as the energy is impacted. They're not going to come. So it'll be a ripple effect through our system. And the problem is AB 32 is just in California. So now we have businesses playing by different rules than the rest of the world. So my bill is designed to suspend it. Okay? I didn't design it to stop it. I designed to suspend it because what I wanted to do is implement AB 32 when China and India implement it. Okay. That means that when you implement it, then everybody's playing by the same rules. Right. And by the way, I get a postcard from China once a week thanking us for sending them all the millions of jobs that they have. The people of China cheer us on. They're our biggest fans because we are doing more to export opportunity and jobs to a communist country than any nation's done in history. The implementation of AB 32 will create the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of California, from the private sector to government. It will shift and take away more freedom from the people of California than any legislation in the history of this country. This is the George Orwell's 1984. Just 3 months ago, CARB tried to introduce legislation or a mandate that said that if you drove a car that was painted black, that it would be illegal. So that's how far the arrogance has gone. The other part of this is that CARB not only goes in and fines the businesses, but they keep the fines. And not only do they keep the fines, but they have a press division that when they find that business and they keep the fines, that they have funded a press division to go after those businesses that they find and to attack them in the media. Ladies and gentlemen, it is criminal the way businesses have been treated in this country. And I personally believe that the left, it is deliberate, because the philosophy of the left is this: if we can destroy the private sector, government will grow. That's the philosophy. So the more burdens we can put on government, the less freedom we will have, and the more control we will have. It is government's nature to limit freedom, and it's our nature to protect it. Government will come to you and say, you know, I'm going to give you a pound of security. But they wink and they say, by the way, it's going to cost you 10 pounds of freedom. There is no free ride. And our forefathers gave their lives, you know. When our forefathers signed that Declaration of Independence, they really didn't do it for themselves. But they did it for 200 years, generations over a 200-year time, that we benefited from, hoping that someday mankind would have a country that was established on self-government. And AB 32 and the formula for it is an economic taking of businesses' authority over their own sovereignty. It is a way to crush people who want to have dreams. It is a dream destroyer. It is an incentive crusher. It makes people want to quit, and it destroys hope. A great poet once said that socialism is the one formula that will destroy man's spirit. And I believe that this is a formula that will crush America's standing among the nations of the world. That's how important this is.
Wow. So the bill AB 118, it's important that that get passed.
Yes.
And if I understand correctly, it is in a committee.
Yes.
Still. So what needs to be done to get AB 118 out of the committee and onto the floor to be voted on?
What I did is when I first introduced it, it was a one-year bill, but I knew I couldn't get out of the committee last year, or this year, because I didn't have the votes. I wanted momentum. So fortunately, we went out and got 28 co-sponsors now for the bill. It will go into natural resources, which I'm a member of that committee. So it's important that when this bill is rolled out in January, that we contact members of those committees and encourage them to support this bill. And then it will go before the committee next year, possibly in March, and then it will be a vote. I will say this, if that bill does not pass, AB 118, then I urge the citizens of California to do a proposition to suspend AB 32 in the year 2012. So as long as our political leaders understand that we have some leverage and that we have a backup plan, they need to take it serious. Our unemployment's 12%, and these legislators are representing people who are out of work. Our revenues are declining. We have to stop the hemorrhaging, and that would be the best way to do it.
Right. All right. And the last question I have for you is, what do you think about the Tea Party movement and the events of today, the rally today?
I've waited a long time for this, believe me. My whole life I've been working for these ideals, and to be able to go out and see all those people that are like me, it's amazing. I'm on a mission to stand for freedom. And when I walked outside today, I was standing on their shoulders. And so I can hear the voices of Jefferson and Patrick Henry. I hear the voices of our ancestors that gave so much so my generation could be free. And they are cheering us on. So the Tea Party's, this is an example of people saying our freedom is important enough for us to make a difference. And so anyhow, I can't tell you how proud I am. When I see them, I see myself. When I walk out there, I don't look at the public, and I'm a politician, because I'm the public first, and I love freedom first, above all. So I'm very grateful, and I want them to know that their efforts are making a big difference here. They are moving the ball forward, and I want to encourage them to keep doing it, and I will be standing with them.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for all you do. We really,
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
And it is my honor. We the people.
Thank you. Thank you so much.